Today I'm going to be putting a Fender extender on the Concours, and there's a bunch of different places you can get this, but if you just search for Kawasaki Concours Fender extender, it'll come up with something like this. Pyramid Plastics, I think, is this one. I've had this one for quite a while, I just haven't put it on. It's actually the second one because the first one I put on, I just used that double-sided adhesive that's on it, and it fell off and got jammed up inside here, and then eventually the tire spat it out. All in about 3 seconds, but I didn't know what was going on. Made an awful buzzing noise, but anyway, first thing we got to do is remove the fender. Alright, first we need to take these clamps loose, and if you see in the back here, you just need to very gently insert a screwdriver and then pop those open. Alright, there's one, and we just repeat that on the other side. Next we'll be taking out that bolt, and then after that we'll take this one out. When you take the screws out, make sure you don't lose a little plastic washer that's on them. And to get that off, I used a 5mm Allen wrench and an 8mm, I think that's 8mm nut driver, and it came right off. I've done both sides, and it's loose. You just got to make sure you're not going to be taking your ABS line or your brake lines with you when you try and do this. You can just rotate it forward, and then I need to rethink this because these clips are in the way now. Alright, I ran into a bit of an issue because last time I just took the double stick tape off and stuck it up in there, and I didn't remove the fender. And these clips for the brake lines, they're plastic push pins, and they have those little flanges on them. Well, I just gave these a good solid pull because I couldn't figure out how to get them off, and I think I might have bent those flanges down too far. But we'll see if we can reuse them. If not, I know they're cheap replacement parts. But short of just pulling these off, the only way you're going to get that fender off is to drop the front wheel out, and I didn't really want to do that. So now that I have those clips out, that just rotates right out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it. You can't see what's left of that double stick tape. I'm going to go ahead and clean this, and then I'll install it the secure way. Alright, I didn't take too much time cleaning this, but I got this part clean and dry, and I'm going to go ahead and stick it on with the double stick tape. And then after I have the double stick tape on here, I'm going to go ahead and drill through the fender and drill through this and bolt it together to make sure it stays on. So there is the fender just taped on. Now let's go drill it. Alright, I used a 7/32 drill bit and put 3 holes in it. And also when I did this, I did one of them and put a screw and a nut on it, and then I did the other one, and then I drilled the last one, so I was only doing them one at a time. I'm using stainless steel hardware, and I'm using screws just long enough to get into the nylon locking portion of the nylock nut. You could use a washer, a lock washer, and a regular nut, but even then I'd still put Loctite on it because you don't want this coming loose. And then if you're afraid to drill your bike, just watch my winter concourse video project when I drilled the tank, and then you won't feel so bad about drilling a cheap piece of plastic. Putting the heads on the inside so there's maximum clearance for the tire. I just didn't want this inside there possibly snagging on anything. So I'll put that last one back on, and then it's just a matter of rotating it back up in between the forks and then reinstalling the bolts you took out to remove it. It's very simple. One quick note, I put the brake line clamps back in, and they do work and they do hold. They just fit slightly looser. So if you don't want to drop the tire and you're gonna take these clamps out, you need to probably order another set of clamps because you're gonna ruin them pulling them out. But they'll work for now. They'll get me by until I can order another pair of them and put new ones in.